Welcome to Stoic Wisdom Daily, where we explore the timeless teachings of Stoic philosophers to help you live a more fulfilling and meaningful life. I'm your host, Marcus Aurelius, and today we're going to tackle a question that has plagued humanity for centuries: why do we suffer? Is it because of the circumstances of our lives, or is it because of something deeper? Epictetus, a former slave who became one of the most influential Stoic philosophers, taught that our suffering is often self-inflicted. Yes, you heard that right, self-inflicted. We suffer because of our own thoughts, emotions, and reactions to the world around us. But how can this be? Don't we all face challenges and difficulties that are beyond our control? Isn't it natural to feel sad, angry, or frustrated when things don't go our way? The answer, my friends, is yes. It is natural to feel these emotions, but it's what we do with them that matters. We can choose to let them consume us, or we can learn to observe them, to understand them, and to let them go. As Epictetus so eloquently put it, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. So, let's embark on this journey of discovery together, and explore the wisdom of Epictetus on why we suffer and how to stop. Get ready to challenge your assumptions, to question your beliefs, and to discover a new way of living that is rooted in the principles of Stoicism. So, why do we suffer? According to Epictetus, we suffer because we are attached to things that are outside of our control. We worry about the future, we regret the past, and we get caught up in our desires and aversions. We want things to be a certain way, and when they're not, we become unhappy. But what if we could learn to let go of these attachments? What if we could learn to accept things as they are, rather than trying to change them or resist them? This, my friends, is the key to freedom. When we let go of our attachments, we free ourselves from the cycle of suffering. We no longer suffer because things don't go our way, because we are no longer invested in a specific outcome. We are free to observe life as it is, without judgment, without attachment, and without resistance. As I wrote in my own meditations, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. This is the power of Stoicism, my friends. It's not about avoiding challenges or difficulties, but about learning to face them with courage, with resilience, and with wisdom. So, let's take a look at a real-life example of how this plays out. Imagine that you're stuck in traffic, and you're running late for an important meeting. You start to feel anxious, stressed, and frustrated. But then you remember the wisdom of Epictetus. You take a deep breath, and you let go of your attachment to being on time. You accept the situation as it is, and you focus on the present moment. You start to observe your thoughts and emotions, without judgment, and you begin to see that they are just fleeting experiences. You are not your thoughts, you are not your emotions, and you are not your circumstances. You are the observer, the witness, the one who is aware of everything that is happening. And in this awareness, you find peace. So, how does this apply to our lives today? In a world that is increasingly fast-paced, complex, and uncertain, it's easy to get caught up in stress, anxiety, and fear. We worry about our jobs, our relationships, our health, and our finances. We worry about the future, and we regret the past. But what if we could learn to approach life with a sense of curiosity, rather than fear? What if we could learn to see challenges as opportunities, rather than threats? This, my friends, is the power of Stoicism. It's not about avoiding difficulties, but about learning to face them with courage, with resilience, and with wisdom. As Epictetus so eloquently put it, difficulty shows men what they are. When we face challenges, we discover our own strength, our own resilience, and our own wisdom. We discover that we are capable of more than we ever thought possible. So, let's take a look at how this plays out in our daily lives. Imagine that you're facing a difficult situation at work, and you're not sure how to handle it. You start to feel stressed, anxious, and overwhelmed. But then you remember the wisdom of Epictetus. You take a deep breath, and you approach the situation with curiosity. You ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience? How can I grow as a person? What strengths can I develop? And in this approach, you find a sense of peace, a sense of clarity, and a sense of purpose. You are no longer controlled by your emotions, but by your values, your principles, and your wisdom. So, how can we apply this wisdom in our daily lives? How can we learn to let go of our attachments, to approach life with curiosity, and to find peace in the midst of turmoil? The answer, my friends, is simple. We can start by practicing mindfulness, by paying attention to the present moment, and by observing our thoughts and emotions without judgment. We can start by letting go of our attachments, by accepting things as they are, and by focusing on what we can control. We can start by cultivating inner strength, by developing our resilience, and by learning to face challenges with courage and wisdom. As I wrote in my own meditations, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. So, let's take a look at a practical example of how this plays out. Imagine that you're feeling overwhelmed by your workload, and you're not sure how to manage your time. You start to feel stressed, anxious, and frustrated. But then you remember the wisdom of Epictetus. You take a deep breath, and you approach the situation with curiosity. You ask yourself, what are my priorities? What can I control? What can I let go of? And in this approach, you find a sense of clarity, a sense of focus, and a sense of purpose. You are no longer controlled by your emotions, but by your values, your principles, and your wisdom. In conclusion, my friends, the wisdom of Epictetus offers us a powerful way to transform our lives. By learning to let go of our attachments, to approach life with curiosity, and to find peace in the midst of turmoil, we can break free from the cycle of suffering. We can learn to live in the present moment, to observe our thoughts and emotions without judgment, and to cultivate inner strength and resilience. So, I invite you to join me on this journey of discovery, to explore the wisdom of Epictetus, and to apply it in your daily life. Remember, my friends, that you have the power to choose how you respond to challenging situations. You have the power to choose how you think, how you feel, and how you act. So, choose wisely, my friends. Choose to live a life that is rooted in the principles of Stoicism, and you will find peace, clarity, and purpose. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for daily doses of Stoic wisdom and inspiration. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.